All right, guys, let's try this again. This is the second taping of this book. The first time my iPad said, hey, no more storage. I guess too many amazing books have been read. So I used the Force to free up some space because today is May the 4th. Be with you. So sweeties, I hope that you have started off your day beautifully. It is a glorious day outside. The sun is shining and there just may be some clouds up in the sky, and that is what we are talking about all this week. The three main kinds of clouds and then what those three main kinds of clouds look like. Now, there are three main kinds which will have cirrus. Now, cirrus clouds are nice and wispy and we go like this up in the air because they're like feathers. They're like fairy wings that are just like cirrus. And then we have stratus. Now, stratus are kind of low in the sky and they are in layers. They go one right on top of one another and you can actually see those layers in stratus clouds. And then we have cumulus. Now I'm going like this because a cumulus cloud has lots and lots of molecules that are always changing. And so they go like this, but they look kind of like cotton balls, and we go cumulus. And they are a little bit kind of medium low in the sky as well. So today, my loves, we are going to be talking about the three main kinds of clouds using The Cloud Book by Tomie de Paola. Now, this is also the same author and illustrator of The Legend of the Poinsettia, the one that we read when we were studying Mexico and Christmas around the world. So it's going to have the same kind of illustrations, beautiful illustrations. I love how Tomie de Paola writes and illustrates. So here we go, guys. The Cloud Book, Words and Illustrations by Tomie de Paola. Almost any time you go outside and look up at the sky, you can see clouds. Clouds are little drops of water or ice hanging in the upper atmosphere, high above the earth. And if you could hop on a bird and fly way up, you could see the whole earth covered with clouds. That is one of the most beautiful pictures that I have ever seen. I'll try to find it and I'll post it on the classroom. There are many different kinds of clouds. Some are high up, some are in the middle, and some are low down in the sky. The three main kinds of clouds are cirrus, cumulus, and stratus. You can tell them apart by the way they look and by where they are in the sky. Cirrus clouds are white and feathery, and they are the highest clouds. They are sometimes called mare's tails. Now, do you remember the story, Who's in the Shed? There was a mare in that story too. Do you remember what character the mare was? It was the horse, that's right. So we know that a mare is a kind of horse. It's the name of a horse, and a mare's tail looks very wispy and feathery. And so that is why cirrus clouds are sometimes called a mare's tail. Cumulus clouds are puffy and look like cauliflowers. They also have flat bottoms. They are always changing shape and are low down in the sky. Stratus clouds are low also. They look like wide blankets of gray and are sometimes called high fogs. Drizzle or snow flurries may fall from them. So the next time you go to the grocery store and you see cauliflower, that can remind you of cumulus clouds. There are also many other kinds of clouds. They have longer names because they look like cirrus, cumulus, or stratus clouds mixed together in pairs. Cirrocumulus clouds are small, fleecy masses that are hard to see. They are very high up in the sky. Some people call them mackerel sky. The French call them moutons, which means sheep. Cirrostratus clouds are high up too. They cover the sky in thin, milky white sheets. When you look at the sun and moon through them, you can see a halo. Cirrostratus clouds are sometimes called bedsheet clouds. Now, sweet please do me a favor and do not ever look at the sun with your eyeballs. This is talking about when it's a very cloudy day and these cirrostratus clouds are up in the sky. It can make the sun look like it has a haze over it, which means that it's kind of fuzzy. But please do not look at the sun with your eyeballs. Altostratus and altocumulus clouds are found in the middle of the sky. Altostratus clouds look like sheets of blue or gray. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. And rain or sun may fall from them. Rain or snow, not the sun, may fall from them. Altocumulus clouds look like cirrocumulus clouds, but the puffs are much bigger. They are gray or whitish, and if you walk underneath them, you might feel some drizzle or snow flurries. Nimbostratus, stratocumulus, and cumulonimbus clouds are low down in the sky. Steady rain or snow falls from nimbostratus clouds. They are easy to see because they are heavy and dark. Stratocumulus clouds look like rolls of blackish or bluish clouds, but they are not really rain clouds. They are often seen in the winter. Cumulonimbus clouds are the kinds of clouds you see during a thunderstorm. They look like mountains of very tall cumulus clouds. Now, those are the kind, sweet peas, that here in Arizona we see during our monsoon. Sorry, I had to think of the name. It's been so long since we've seen rain. So those are the kind that we see during our monsoon storms, and you can just see them rolling in because they start out big and white and puffy and tall, and then they bring in those thunderstorms and the lightning that we see in the sky, and they are so beautiful. Fog is a cloud made of water droplets that form at ground level. It can come right into your front yard, especially if you live on a mountain. Up in the mountains, people give special names to clouds. One is called the banner cloud. Another is called the boa cloud. Now look at that carefully. Why do you think that is called a boa cloud? I think it has something to do with that little guy, because it looks like a snake wrapping around the mountain. In olden days, people looked at the clouds and saw things. The Native Americans saw thunderbirds in dark storm clouds. The ancient Greeks believed that Hermes, the messenger of the gods, who was also the wind, once stole the sun's cattle, which were clouds. In Labrador, which is way up north, people believed that fog was caused by a white bear who drank too much water and burst. So those are the different traditions that people have. We remembered when we were studying Christmas around the world that a tradition is a story or a belief that people have, and they pass it down from generation to generation. So the different levels in your family. People saw giants, animals, ships, and castles in the clouds too. Now, one of your jobs this week with your academic instruction is to find some shapes in the clouds if you're able to. Maybe you can draw them. There are some sayings about clouds that help tell about the weather. For farmers, when the fog goes up the mountain hoppin', then the rain comes down the mountain droppin'. For travelers, evening red and morning gray set the traveler on his way. Evening gray and morning red bring down rain upon his head. So people would use the clouds to predict the weather. That's what a meteorologist does. A meteorologist studies the weather, so they study the wind, the clouds, how much moisture is in the air. That's the humidity. And they study all of those things, and then they make predictions about the weather. Sometimes they are right, and sometimes they are wrong. And that's why we always say a fabulous failure, because if you have a failure at a prediction, it is a-okay, because that means that we learn from it. If there are large clouds in the morning, people sometimes say, in the morning mountains, in the evening fountains. And sailors know that mackerel skies and mayor tails make lofty ships carry low sails. That means that there is a storm coming. There are funny sayings too. If people don't seem to know what they are doing, other people say, he's in a fog, or she has her head in the clouds. That means you're not really paying attention to anything. And now, here's a very silly cloud story. Ta-da! So here is the very last silly cloud story. The cloud enters the room. The cloud fills the room. The cloud leaves the room. The room. So you see, clouds are fun, silly, and very interesting. The end. Now, sweet loves, we are going to be talking about the different kinds of clouds all this week. So our cirrus, stratus, cumulus. Those are the three main kinds of clouds that we have in our atmosphere. So maybe you want to be a meteorologist, someone who studies the weather, and maybe every day you would like to make a prediction, a guess as to what the weather is going to be like. So maybe your prediction is right and maybe it's not, but either way, it is a-okay. So sweet loves, I hope that you have a great start to your morning, and I look forward to reading more cloud and weather books to you in the week. Love you. Bye guys.